Alexa, stop. Yeah, I don't want them to take my sound. You know, they be tripping on that. So yeah. So listening to a little reggae. So glad to be with y'all today. Since I'm sitting here, I'm gonna make sure everything working on all the sites that we are on before I let TikTok join us, because you know they only got an hour. So if I join them now, they gonna miss out. But at least this time they know I got the mic on, so they should be happy. Come on now, what's going on? Let's see where we at. YouTube. All right, it says we live. What's crazy? I don't know. They say we live 2 times, which is bananas on YouTube. Yeah. And where's we at? I don't know. Facebook always been messing up now, so I never find myself. Oh, that's right. We're not live on TikTok yet. I'm not going to Twitch, so all right. Let's get TikTok on. Let me get these lights together. All right. I hope y'all been having a good week. If you're with me, oh, that's what I gotta do. I gotta share it. Doop, 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 doop. Wait a minute. Okay. Before I get them on. I wasn't even thinking. I gotta share it to my Facebook page. YouTube. I'm hot. I don't know what's going on. I'm burning up. We're gonna do. Oh, I'm glad I came back here too, because I almost forgot the card. I think we're gonna do our sacral today. Book club. Come on now. Let's say boo. Book club. All right, well, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, we got uh-oh. Oh man, come on man. You gotta have that mess. You get no love. Nah, what is that? On Twitch. I need to move you to see. Oh no. I don't know where you at. Let's say Twitch expired. I'm not worried about that now. TikTok. Let's go. Oop, oop, oop. Let's go. Hey, where are you? No, you're wasting your time. TikTok, be patient. Get these light switches. Wrong one. Right one. Oh man, I forgot all about that. Let's see if we can do it. Put you down. TikTok, glad to have you for another Thursday book club. I'm a little delayed, so I got to do some of the lighting. My regulars already know. So y'all get to see some background work. We're gonna do now I get that card too, so we're gonna do a mindfulness exercise. Alexa, turn on living room lights. Huh? There we go.
Also, I found a routine that ends your day on the right note with hits from the radio. Do you want to try it?
No.
No problem.
I don't want hits from the radio. For real. So the lamp behind me, I control with lights. I'm curious, man. How y'all feel the book is going? I definitely have some thoughts. Hold on. Y'all might be able to come. Come on now. That's what I said I wanted. Yeah, we're going for red today. Let's put out some of this daylight. Oh shoot. I'm not hearing all that too. I know it's activating. Lo siento. Remember I told y'all my story about now those were some of the first, but not the first, but one of the first things I learned on one of my old jobs was to say I'm sorry in Spanish because I had to use that thing so much. Lo siento. Lo siento. Lo siento. I had to use that thing so much. All right, that's gonna be better. It shouldn't. I mean, it might slide, but turntable might wobble, but it won't fall down. So we're gonna be good. And all this bumping and stuff. So I should have had it together, right? You ain't trying to see all this. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. You did. We're gonna have us a good day either way. Let me see. That don't look red at all. What does that look like? Orange? Wow, that was supposed to be. Listen, I'm gonna let it do its thing. Man, listen. Listen, it's trying to embarrass me in front of company. Ain't that crazy? We're gonna leave it and let it rotate as we do. Sorry, TikTok. I know y'all gonna miss some of the show, so again, we started that mindfulness exercise, so we're gonna do that real quick. Not necessarily real quick. Oh, I left the card. 5 seconds. Okay, family, we back. Man, listen, my sometimes I be tripping. What? I don't know what that's talking about at all. Sitting on the cord? Okay, there. Need some space, family. All right, so let's start with our bowl. I feel like this thing in the way right now. See what we can get going over here. I did bring out my little drum too, but the small one. I might do something with it too, because I still do love it. And it is at a heart key, so let me put you down. Okay. I had a meeting over here yesterday, so here we go. Again, this is the solar plexus. All right, so next, get in a comfy position. We are going to do the 3-6-9 breathing exercise. You can either lay down or you can sit down or any position that you feel comfortable. I got me some snacks tonight too. Any position that you feel comfortable in. When you get in that position, I would like for you to place both of your hands like this. Below your belly button. And anywhere in that region of your bladder, near your hip flexors, but just below your belly button. And just lay your hands there and relax, shake, 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 shake. Get your shake out. And just take a deep breath. So if you don't remember, we're going to do 369. We'll breathe in through our nose, hold it for 3 seconds, breathe out through our mouth. Then we are going to repeat that for 6 seconds, and then again for 9 seconds. So on my count, on 3, in through our nose, out through our mouths. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. Okay, we're going to do it one more time. On the count of 3, in through our nose, hold it for 6 seconds, and then out through our mouths. On my count, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, hold it for 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out. One last time. Breathe in through your nose, hold it for 9 seconds. Breathe out through your mouth. On my count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, hold it for 9 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Breathe out. All right, so stay in your comfy position. And now I want you to close your eyes. And with your hands still on your sacral, your stomach area, below your navel, your bladder, I want you to visualize you sitting on the beach. And right now, you can feel the sand against your body. You can smell the ocean air. You can hear the sounds of laughter. You can see sand castles. You see people walking by. You smell that hint of fresh food in the air. You see ice cream. And then you look out and you see a big, beautiful ocean. And as you're looking at that ocean, start imagining what would be in that ocean. Let's take a second to think about all the different life forms that are in that ocean. Then I want you to visualize yourself standing up and walking towards that water. With every step, you feel the same crush beneath your feet. You feel every grain against the bottom of your foot. And as you get closer to the water, you start to feel the area where the waves crash in, where the sand begins to turn to mud. And you feel your feet start to sink in. And as you walk closer, visualize a wave coming in and brushing across your feet. Feel the water across the top of your feet. Feel the individual bubbles that come in that water. Now imagine yourself walking a little bit closer where the water is ankle deep. And you feel the water. You feel the surface tension of the water hugging your ankle. And you walk a little further and you see the water is waist deep. And you can feel the water now surrounding your legs. And you can feel it filling the space in between your legs, the space in between your toes. And you still feel that sand on the bottom of your feet. Your feet still kind of sink in. And as you stand there, a wave comes in. And it gently pushes you back a little bit. So you walk a little further. And the waist is checked, the water is chest high. And you stand there and you start to feel every molecule of the water intertwining with your body. Almost like you have become one with the water, one with the waves. And while you're there, I want you to imagine one of the best moments you ever had with water. Swimming, water balloon. Even if you have a moment where you watch cars with a family member that you love, or you got caught in a rainstorm, just think about that moment. Get in touch with it. Think about the smells. Think about what you thought. Think about how you felt and why you stand there. You feel the water still holding you very closely. And think of some words that you would use to describe this moment and this feeling that you are feeling as you intertwine with the water, as you remember some of your best moments. Now, those words you use to describe the feeling, the moment, the smells, the everything, I want you to look to your left. And when you look to your left, you see yourself standing there. And I want you to tell yourself how they are all of those words you use to describe your moment. And while you're telling yourself that, remember the power resides in the belief. So earnestly believe you are majestic, you are healing, you are happiness, you are peace, You are life. And after you do that, I want you to repeat after me. I am a creative being. I am a creative being. I deserve to enjoy life. I deserve to enjoy life. I am emotionally, I am emotionally balanced. I welcome sensuality into my life. I welcome sensuality into my life. And most importantly, I am worthy and loved. I am worthy and loved. So take a deep breath and slowly open your eyes. And keep your eyes open for a little, closed for a while. Enjoy your moment a little bit longer. Repeat those affirmations because you. Okay, so family, we're gonna get started with the book. And change your gears. Okay. Hold on. Hold up. Wait. Not now. Later. All right, let me get a little drink of water before we get started. We're gonna roll this thing on. I probably should have hit this, but trust me, I'm not gonna read that whole hour. Yeah. You know, with TikTok, we got 30 minutes. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. Leave a comment. I'll check them in a little bit. Because unfortunately on TikTok, I cannot see your comments. Lo siento. But you go to YouTube, definitely see your comments. They say it ain't on Twitch right now. So I don't know. If you're on Twitch, it should work too. Chapter 31, Yasmin. It's my favorite night of the year, or at least it used to be. On New Year's Eve, you stand at the juncture of before and after. I know a new year doesn't actually deliver a clean slate. That past rent due, still past due at the stroke of midnight. That dead end job, still not going anywhere. The ailing marriage that doesn't heal itself by the end of auld lang syne, this I know firsthand. But the feelings of newness, the sense of possibility can spur you to a transformation of your circumstances in significant ways. Other than the last 2 years, I've planned every New Year's party at Grits ever had. Last year, Josiah and I were barely speaking, and I left the planning of the party to Bali and the few of the staff. Tonight, we're on better terms, though a different kind of tension has crept up between us. We may not have discussed our two-night stand, but too often I wake up sweating and panting and wet between my legs because Josiah roams around naked in my dreams. Party's hype, Hendrik says beside me. Good job as usual. Thank you. The whole staff did their part. Surrounded by partygoers halfway to their New Year's buzz, We're seated on Greet's second floor at a huge table on the landing that leads out to the roof and overlooks the main dining room. Deja, along with Soledad and her three girls, and for once, her husband, Edward, round out our group. I love the decorations, Soledad says, peering over the side and scanning the Christmas lights and the holly still suspended from the ceiling, hanging on the walls. Everything looks fantastic. I grin at her as I sip my French 75. You really need to consider turning these talents to dollars, girl. What's that mean? Edward asked, eyes lifting from his phone, maybe for the first time tonight. Dollars? What's she talking about, soul? Soledad clears her throat and re-rolls her silverware in his linen napkin on the table. Yaz and Hen think I can turn some of my ideas into a business. No doubt about it, Hendricks chimes in. Joanna Gaines got nothing on soul except $1 billion empire, Edward scoffs, knocking back his scotch. Only a matter of time. Hendricks' smile is tight and her eyes are sharp, giving the opportunity to focus on her energies on it. Edward laughs. You got good friends, honey. I really do, Soledad replies, deliberately taking his sarcasm at face value. Maybe I should listen to their advice. The glass on its way to Edward's mouth freezes mid-air. You can't be serious. We've got the girls. Joanna Gaines has 5 kids, Deja interjects from across the table, chewing on an appetizer of fried green tomatoes. Doesn't seem to have slowed her down, Loopy asks, blinking long lashes innocently at her father. I don't want to be the reason Mom doesn't do all she's capable of. I glance between the two confident, composed 13-year-olds making more sense than the only grown man at our table. The next generation is scarcely fierce. If these girls are any indication. You aren't, Soledad Lupe says Lupe, taking time to look at all 3 girls in their eyes. None of you are. Raising you is exactly what I wanted to do. It always has been. What about when we're gone? I'm starting high school next year, and these rugrats, Lupe grins, gesturing to her sisters, aren't far behind. Yeah, Mom, Inez adds, we aren't babies anymore. Running our home, raising our kids, Edward says, a frown puckering his brows. That's always been your dream. One of them, Soledad says, her words soft but laced with a bit of steel I'm not used to hearing from her. Things change, right? A long look passes between husband and wife, and they are definitely holding a silent conversation the rest of us aren't privy to. Hendricks kicks me under the table. I grunt and I shoot her a glare. You guys want refills or more of anything before I go? I smile like all sunshine and lollipops. I need to go make sure we're ready for the midnight toast. I'm good, but thanks, Edward answers, lifting his phone to resume staring down at the screen. Soledad fixes a stony look on the phone in her husband's hand. Her mouth set into a flat line. After a second, she glances away from him and catches me staring. Her expression brightens, shifts to the usual sweetness. What is it she's hiding? What's she holding? I recognize the strain of keeping things together in public. It only works for so long before you fall apart. I speak as someone who fell apart rather spectacularly and publicly the last few years. I take her hand under the table and squeeze. Even if she isn't ready yet to share what's going on, I hope she knows Hendricks and I will be there when she is. All right. I push my chair away from the table and I stand. I'll be back, but if I get caught up and don't make it back before midnight, toast without me. Can I still sleep over at Lupe? Deja asks. Kasim staying at Jamal. If it's okay with you, Saul. I raise my brow and query. Oh, fine with me, Soledad says. I can take all the girls home with me right at midnight, Edward offers. If you want to stay behind and hang with he and Yasmin, so from a man who usually does the bare minimum to help out. The thought must also occur to Soledad because her eyebrows narrow with suspicion. Sure, she says, the word sprinkled with saccharine. How kind of you to offer, honey. You worked so hard, he tells her. I always want to make sure you have time for you. Bullshit, Kendrick coughed in her hand. Sorry, something went down the wrong way. Them lies he's telling. Hendrix and I both know. I just hope Soledad does too. I've never liked him. Something tells me we shouldn't trust him either. Well, if it's going to be grown girls only, Hendrix says, let's crash at my place. All this drinking I'm planning on doing, I didn't even drive here. I walked, so we can hightail it together back to my spot and swing by the fountain on our way. Oh yeah, I haven't done the New Year's wishes in a long time, Soledad says. Every New Year's Eve, people gather around the fountain, toss in their coins, hoping for great return in the coming year. I got my coins ready, I say. Let's make sure everything's okay, but we'll hook up. I step carefully down the circular staircase to the bottom floor. The party is alive. The music is pulsing like a heartbeat through the speakers. The crowd swelling as more people pass through the doors. We are wall to wall, and I make note to check capacity. Last thing we need on the biggest night of the year is to get shut down. Knowing Josiah, he's on top of that. I haven't seen him tonight, but he's probably in the kitchen more than usual. With all the preparations for the party, the long hours here with the holiday crowds, and moving forward on the Charlotte expansion, we've barely seen each other since he came over Christmas Day. That morning lingers in my mind, though. The two of us, eager, watching our kids tear into the gifts and squeal and scream their pleasure. Him at the stove with sweater sleeves pushed up over his forearms while he cooks bird famous sweet potato pie pancakes. We'd eaten our weight in breakfast, laughed and talked. Josiah at one end of the table, me at the other. It felt like old times. Even better in some ways. It felt right. Until he went home and I slept in my cold bed alone. When I reached the main floor, Cassie, wearing her chef's uniform and a New Year's party hat, stands at the bar chatting with the bartender. Happy New Year's, boss, she greets with a warm smile. I glance to my watch, another 30 minutes before the year goes new. Don't rush it now. How's everything going? Smooth. Everyone seems to be eating up the specials. You and Vashi did a great job with the menu. Glad satisfaction. Well, let me go make sure we have enough champagne for the big toast. See you later. I thread my way through the thickened crowd, but I get stopped every few steps. The whole neighborhood seems to be happy I'm back this year. That careful look they used to give me when I first lost Henry, when I fell and I couldn't get back up, not just here with the loose floorboard, but during the long months that followed, that look is gone. I clear the dining room and I stand at the threshold of the hall. I pause. It's night for a new beginning. I pull out my necklace tucked beneath my dress and stare at another relic, my red wing, looped onto the chain with a wheel charm Josiah gave me for our anniversary. I flip over the charm, reading the inscription on the back, till the wheels fall off. Foolish woman, wearing it tonight, wearing it ever, but especially tonight when I have to see Josiah. I tuck the necklace and charm beneath my dress. It's not a night to look back, but somehow I hadn't been able to stop myself. The dining room is all laughs and music, but the kitchen is contained chaos. Vashti is running things, barking instructions, her usual soft voice rough with use and urgency. For the people who attend, it's the biggest party of the year. For our wait staff and the kitchen crew, it's the busiest. Everything okay? I ask her. You need anything? We're good, she says, sparing me with a quick look and wiping sweat from her brow. I've had very little interaction with her since she and Josiah broke up. We never really vibed or hung out, but I've been avoiding her, and I suspect she's been avoiding me. I glance around the kitchen, filled with steam and buzzing with activity. Have you seen Josiah? I ask. She tilts her head towards the rear of the kitchen, her expression serene, minus the telling tightness around her mouth. Seller, I'm going to make sure we're ready for the toast. I tell her Happy New Year's, Vashti. Her eyes glint with something that in anyone else I would take as resentment. But the glass over her emotions is opaque. I can't be sure what I see. She nods and turns back to the team, pulling down orders and preparing food. We don't have a true cellar, not with a 2-story house we renovated for grits, but we may do, creating a large space dedicated to the liquor at the back of the kitchen. Inside, Anthony, Milk, and Josiah are loading the bottles of champagne from the cooling station onto the carts. The 3 men glance up when I enter, and I smile, only looking long enough at Josiah to see he's fine as hell in his impeccably tailored slacks, white dress shirt, and suspenders. Suspenders? He never used to wear them. My new favorite thing could be divesting him of them. Gentlemen, I say, walking in a little further, getting ready for the big toast. Yeah, Anthony answers. We're close, so loading up the champagne. You look mighty pretty tonight, Yaz, Milk says, stepping over and wrapping an arm around my shoulders. I glance down at my bright pink dress studded with sequins. The neckline is high enough to hide my necklace, but it's not modest. Not on me, clinging to my breast the way it does like sparkly second skin. The hem hits mid-thigh. I splurged on Tom Ford padlock sandals. Hendrix said they make my legs look like they should be wrapped around either a pole or a man. I take that as a compliment. I hug him back and kiss his cheek. Happy New Year's, Milk. Want to take these out? Anthony directs the question to Milky. And I come back for the next batch. Yes, sir. Milky releases me with a final squeeze and helps Anthony wheel out the first cart of champagne bottles, leaving Josiah and me alone. We stare at one another in the secluded space for a breath. I forgot the revelry beyond this room and all the people gulping down their sorrows and sloshing good times in glasses. It's just us again. Everything we built together lies on the other side of this door. The flourishing business, all the friendships we fostered, even the children we brought into this world. None of that existed before this right here. The you and me of Josiah and Yaz. I fight back the ludicrous urge to bolt the door and trap him here with me until New Year's dawn. I could help. I gestured toward the second cart, partly loaded with bottles. Nah, I got it. He runs appreciative eyes over my appearance. Besides, that dress is much too pretty for hard labor, and those shoes ain't seen a day of work. I laugh, fisting the high ponytail Deja gave me for the night and tossing it over one shoulder. You right about that? His deep chuckle rumbles in the quiet of the room, and I shiver, absorbing the low, sexy timbre. His cologne, the one he's worn for years that seems to smell better than ever, fills my nostrils. I'm having a visceral reaction to my ex-husband in a confined space. Are we okay on code? I ask as much to distract myself from dry humping the man as the need to know the answer. Yeah, Bolly's counting. When we reach our maximum, she stops letting people in. Pretty sure that was about an hour ago. It's a packed house. I lean one hip against the counter. Everyone's loving it. You did an outstanding job. He loads another bottle onto the cart. Seems at Jamal's, right? Yeah, and they just spending the night with Lupe. So empty house, free night, big plans with Lancaster. Mark? I laugh and shake my head. No, I heard he's doing a fundraiser to ring in the new year. And he didn't want to show his girlfriend off to all the black folks he needed votes from. Hurt prickles behind my best bone. I turned down the corners of my mouth. So that's the only reason a man like Mark would want to date me. He runs a glance over. Man, she's something else. He runs a glance over me from top of my ponytail down to my shoes, lingering on the ample curves in between. I think we both know he has plenty reasons to want a woman like you. The question is whether he deserves you, and I say hell no. Tension blooms between us. With each second, we don't look away from each other. With every hammering beat of my heart and every stuttering breath, I want to pull those suspenders down, off, unbutton that shirt, and press my lips hard over his heart. A kiss that would imprint him as mine again. It's not like that with him, I say. He pauses, loading bottles to watch me for a few seconds before resuming the task. It's not? Nope. I haven't seen him since he surprised us with that Christmas tree. He shakes his head to mock chastisement, using that man for his trees. I told him, and I trail off and run my finger along the edge of the counter, avoiding his eyes. I told him we're better off as friends. Like us? My head pops up and I stare at him. His gaze steady, but seems to be searching for something. Whether he's actually looking at me or inside himself, I can't tell. Not exactly, I laugh dryly, struggling to regulate my breaths. He never got further than a kiss. Is that true? He leans against the counter and folds his strong arms over his chest. Yes. My voice comes out like froth, light and airy. We haven't talked about. He stares at the floor and then meets my eyes directly. That night in Charlotte. I'm shook that he's the one that brought it up. It's been like a specter between us, never mentioned but rippling beneath the surface of every interaction. We said we wouldn't. I remind him, my breath shortening. Yeah, but it did happen. And I just want to make sure you're okay with everything. I cherish your friendship. I would I wouldn't ever. We're good. I cut in, having no desire to hear him wax poetically about what a great friend I am and when I have sex with him in my fantasies. That's right. Does he really think I can forget what happened? It was fantastic, mind melting. It was like old times, but even better. Apparently, absent makes the heart grow horny. Cross stitch that on a pillow. Soledad and I are spending the night at Hendrix. I say before he can tell me more about what a great platonic buddy I am. So that's what I'm doing with my night of freedom while the kids are gone. They asked me to take them to the old mill before they go back to school. And just like that, we're back to the mundane, back to this life where we don't kiss or have sex or spill secrets in the dark. Our own night has been washed away. Our frank conversations about the issues that destroyed our marriage left a new openness and understanding. Affection, respect, friendliness, all there, but the passion that's the price I paid. He told me it would be this way. I know it's for the best. You can't pretend it never happened. You can be his friend, business partner, co-parent without having more. You can stop wanting him. Dr. Abrams says honesty is medicine to the soul. I have to ask her for a remedy for a lie. He takes another 2 bottles from the fridge to the cart. Is that brand new? I ask, nodding towards the champagne in his hand. It is. He shoots me a sly glance. You want to try it? I giggle, but walk closer. Isn't it bad luck to pop bottles before midnight? We make our own luck. He reaches for the wine key and gives me a dare me look. I nod, grinning like a kid smuggling chocolate from the candy store. Pop. The sound makes me laugh as it does the stream of fizz pouring from the bottle, so bright and bubbly that in the dreariness of the cellar. We don't have glasses, I gasp, stepping forward to catch some of the cold liquid in my fingertips. Who needs them? He hoists the bottles high. Here's to a new year. May all your pain be champagne. Did you come up with that? Nope. Otis, our dog? No. The song Otis from Watch the Throne album. I play it when I work out at home, and Otis does love it. He probably thinks it's his anthem. Well, then, may all your pain be champagne. He chugs straight from the bottle, his stare never unlocking from mine. Heating, gentling, the longer he looks at me. Wordlessly, he passes me the bottle, and I wrap my lips around the rim where his just were, the closest we'll come to a New Year's kiss. I gulp as long as I can before coming up for air, gasping at the effervescence. Bubbles caress my throat and invade my bloodstream. Happy New Year, I laugh, tipping up to hug him with one arm, the crook of my elbow looped around his neck while I still grip the bottle. He stiffens for a second before relaxing against me, his hand coming towards my hip, his nose dropping to my neck. He draws in a deep breath of me and exhale, his warm sigh breezing across my skin. I shudder, pressing even closer, turning my head at the same moment he turns his. Our noses are separated by mere inches. Our faces so close, I can almost taste the champagne on his lips. Happy New Year, baby. He whispers, his breath misting my mouth. The air between us feels clear and yet fogged with lust and affection, like it always did before everything fell apart. In his arms, I feel like a girl again, the one who wanted him wildly and promised to love him always, to love him until the wheels fell off. These few seconds, spiked with effervescence and champagne, feel more real to me than anything has since our night in Charlotte. But a sound at the door shatters the illusion. Vashti. Oh, her eyes, her wide eyes watching us standing in each other's arms. Sorry to interrupt. Anthony thought, you're not interrupting, I say, taking my time, stepping away from Josiah, making sure it doesn't look like we got caught doing something wrong. We're just loading up champagne. Yeah, she darts doubtful glances between two of us. I just had a question. I better get out of here. I tell them, my smile coming through for me. It's almost midnight. I leave them together, and a little anxious knot forms in my belly. I never asked Josiah much about that breakup, but took him at face value when he said it wasn't working out. I haven't seen them together much over the last month. It's clear to me, though, that she still has feelings for him. What if they find a way to work it out after all? What demon prompts it? I don't know. But I tiptoe back to the cellar to stand outside the door. There's no sound, no conversation coming from inside. Back pressed to the wall like I'm in a spy movie. I lean my head just the slightest bit. It's only for a split second, but long enough to see them in an embrace. She's so petite. Her head fits neatly under his chin, his arm linked at the small of her back. I jerk back immediately, rushing as quickly and quietly down the hall as possible. What's stopping him from going back to her? Are they sleeping together again? Have they reconciled? And he just didn't tell me because why would he tell me? He doesn't have to. We had a one night and 2 years of not trusting each other and nothing more between us other than business and our kids. It was one night, but nothing has changed. Tears burn my throat as I zip past the kitchen and lean against the wall before I reach the dining room. You ready, Yaz? Startled, I look up at the question, brushing hasty fingers under my eyes. Cassie's gaze fills with concern. You okay? We can get someone else to do the toast if you... No, I straighten and flick my ponytail over my shoulder, smile plastered on my face, all balls and bravado. I'm ready. After the last few years when I wasn't able to plan this or to be here, the night has been a success. I won't let anything ruin it. Not even a possible reconciliation between Josiah and Vashti. It's New Year's and we have a new day. If anyone needs to leave the past behind, it's me. Valley passes me a glass of champagne and I take my spot on the stage beside the DJ's booth. With the microphone in one hand and bubbly in the other, I survey the capacity crowd. The booth is positioned so that I can not only see the entire bottom floor, but look up and see most of the tables on the landing above, too. There are speakers on the roof so that diners can hear the music all night, and they also will hear my toast. May I have your attention, I begin, my broad smile firmly in place. It's too many people for me to know everyone, but so many of their faces are familiar. Peripherally, I know Josiah and Vashti at the bar together, but I don't allow myself to linger on them. There are parents from Kasim's soccer team, members from the Skyland Association, Sinja from a Honey Child, regular customers who sent cards and flowers for weeks when word got out that we lost Henry. Deidre, who's never stopped coming by with her casseroles and stacks of romance novel, is tucked into a corner across the dining room. Clint gives me a thumbs up, while Brock holds their beautiful baby girl on his chest. My eyes drift up to the landing with Soledad and Hendrix, my friends, who keep my secrets and soothe my hurt, smile down at me. I'm supposed to make a toast, I say, but I first want to thank you all for coming tonight and for your support throughout this year. Grits couldn't keep on without you. I searched my mind for something meaningful to say. If I prepared, I would have crafted something safe that felt sincere, but I didn't revel too much. I didn't, though, so I'm only left with what this real thing I'm probably regret saying tomorrow. I wasn't at the party the last couple of years, I say. It's been a tough time for me, and as many as you know, if you don't, just think of a time in your life where you felt you lost everything. That was me, and I couldn't bring myself to show up and pretend otherwise. My words seem to fall into a vat of silence. I'm self-conscious, and the smile that comes to my lips is genuine but faint. If any of you are in that place tonight, I encourage you to not give up, to give yourself time to heal, to grow, to find joy again. What a difference a year can make. And, and in just a few minutes, we get a brand new one. As long as you have a new year, you have another chance. So here's to another year, another chance. Make the most of it. I look around the room until my eyes collide with Josiah's, which are fixed on me. And may all your pain be champagne. People all over the room lift the glasses to their lips, sip, gulp, get bubbly down just in time for the countdown. Here we go, everybody. I laugh into the mic. 10, 9, 8. I stop it, still say some salute. Except Deja, who stares at me unsmiling, but not in a resentful way. She stares at me like I'm a riddle, something she's still trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure her out too. Maybe this year we'll decode each other. 3, the crowd yells. 2, 1, Happy New Year. Auld Lang Syne blast through the sound system. Party horns squawk everywhere. The lovers turn the page with their kiss. I accept hugs from everyone, every direction, and allow my eyes to stray across the room where Vashti tips up to kiss Josiah's cheek. I've imagined them kissing. Hell, after seeing Vashti at his house, I've imagined him doing a lot more than that. But seeing her back in his arms tonight was unbearable reality. Time after party at my place. Yes, Soledad says. Edward's taking the girls home. Let's make the most of the night. Okay. I hazard another look over to the bar, but Josiah and Vashti are no longer there. Let's get out of here. I grab a bottle of my own from the passing server. I don't alert anyone that I'm leaving. I spent the last few weeks planning and making sure everyone knew exactly what to do before, during, and after this event. They got this. Outside, I'm unprepared for the cold's blustery greeting when we step onto the sidewalk. Well, walk home. Excuse me. We'll walk home, she said. Soledad reminds her in a pitch perfect imitation of Hendrik. It's not that far, she said. My apartment is around the corner. Hendrik shivers, pulling her cape around herself more tightly. But mama, but mama's too pretty for frostbite. I ain't losing toes for y'all, so come on. Let's go toss our coins in the fountain so we can kill the rest of this champagne at my place. I haul in a long draught of wintry air, allowing the cold to clear my mind from the disturbing image of Josiah and Vashti in the cellar. You okay? Hendricks asked softly. Yeah, I turned to her. Why wouldn't I? You just seem a little. Soledad side glances me. I don't know. Sad at times tonight. Everything's fine. I offer them a wry smile and point to the fountain at the center of the square, ringed with people tossing in their coins. Let's wish. Remember, Soledad says, you can't tell us your wish or it won't come true. The 3 of us stand at the rim of the fountain, each staring into the gurgling water with sober expressions. Soledad tosses her coin in, and Hendricks follows suit. I reach into the silk-lined pocket of my dress and finger the coin I brought specifically for this moment. But my hand wanders to instead my neck, and I pull out the gold chain with the wheel charm and my old wedding ring. Lifting it over my head, I cup it in my palm, still warm from my skin. It's heavy with dead weight of old wishes. It's time for a new start, right? So why hold on to the symbol of old love from a former life when it's so obvious Josiah has no interest in looking back? Without thinking too hard, I toss it into the center of the fountain. It's not a night for wishes. It's a night washed in my mistakes and haunted by the things I cannot change. Tomorrow may be for resolutions, but tonight is doused in regrets. My eyes sting, and I hope my friends will assume the tears are from the wind and the cold. We don't ask one another what we wish, but turn away from the fountain in silence, each of us holding a bottle of champagne and our own counsel. We've only taken a few steps when the chilly wind carries a whisper to my ears. Happy New Year, baby. He didn't take it back. He didn't stutter. What if that moment with Vasha in his arms was innocent? What if the most right moments tonight were the ones we shared alone in that cellar when our lips almost met, when our hearts beat like talking drums through our chests? I hadn't felt like nothing, hadn't felt like things were over and done between us, even though that night was supposed to be the end. Could it be that what I thought were ashes were actually embers waiting to be rekindled? Do you want him back? I've been afraid to answer Mama's questions, but with the face wet from tears and my heart heavy, aching, I can't avoid it anymore. I do. I want Josiah back in my life as more than a friend, more than just the father of my children. I want him back in bed. I want him back. Was I the one who asked for the divorce? Yes. Did I make mistakes? God, yes. Does it feel insurmountable? I have to admit it does. But he was maybe jealous of Mark tonight. He called me baby. He looked at me with desire and affection. I can work with that. I can build on that. I have to try. Before I let go of the past and grab hold of a future without him, I have to be sure. I don't know when or if I'll get a second chance, but as long as it's possible, I'll hold on to hope. I stutter, I stutter step back from the fountain in my heels, not even checking to see if my friends are following me. I return to the spot where I stood, where I tossed the past in the well of wishes. I lean over to peer into the water. The lights in the fountain illuminate piles and piles of coins, but no necklace. I was standing right here, I muttered, propped a knee onto the rim of the fountain, leaning over and peering in. It has to be here. I have no right to hope my happily ever after with Josiah will come around again. It's irrational. It's unfair. I did this to us, to him, to myself. I don't deserve a second chance. But is it worth fighting for? Is he? Before I talk myself out of it, I take off my heels and step in the icy water, shuddering from the cold. People around me gasp, some laugh. I ignore them and I step through the shallow water, eyes peeled for a glint of a diamond among copper coins. A small splash to my right distracts me from the search. Hendrik standing with me, the legs of her pantsuits rolled up past her knees, solar dyed joins in the middle of the fountain, barefoot and shivering. We triangulate. I look between the three of us and in unison bust out laughing. What are we looking for? Hendricks asks. A gold necklace, I tell them, resuming my focus, perusal of the fountain floor with a tiny diamond ring and a wheel charm. After a few minutes of fruitless searching, panic grips me. As irrational as it sounds, it feels like I can't save that necklace. I can't save us. I've been pawing through mounds of coins, trickles of tears warming my cold cheeks. I'm about to give up when a stream of gold catches my eyes. I reach for it, scooping up the chain with the charm and the ring suspended from it. I got it, I tell my friends who are still searching the fountain floor. A whoop goes up from the people gathered around the fountain, watching me make a fool of myself. The necklace is still cold and wet, but I slip it over my head and back around my neck, tucking it into my dress again. The three of us make our way to the rim of the fountain, gingerly stepping over and out. Do we get to know what that was all about? Hendricks asked, unrolling her pant legs and picking up her shoes. Can I just thank you now and tell you later? I asked, not prepared for where my confessions will lead us for the rest of tonight. I want to rest and sleep, and being up all night unpacking my feelings won't point at Hendrix when she says no at the same time. You tell us when the time is right. I will. I link my arms through theirs and guide us back to the cobblestone walkway leading to Hendrix's apartment. For now, just for now, I don't need wishes as long as I have hope. And I saw somewhere it said it's been an hour. All right, maybe we read 30. Where we at now? How many more pages we got left? A bunch. Pages left. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're gonna knock out this chapter too. Then we're gonna wrap it up. There's just a couple of pages. And since I do all that meditation in the beginning, I'll knock a little bit more. That's good. Yasmin, I messed up. I paced back and forth before Dr. Abrams, linking my hands behind my neck. Sunshine from the window filters through the leaves of hanging plants suspended all around her office. Her desk sits in the far corner, neat and orderly. A few stacks of papers dotting the surface. She gestures to the chair where I usually sit, where we face each other in the comfortable armchairs by the window, sunbathing our conversations in light and warmth. I've worked through so many emotions there. It's the very spot where I came to terms with so many hurts and wrestled my demons to the ground. But this time, I don't think there's an affirmation, meditation, or a journal entry that can help me live with the consequences of what I've done. In the stark cold of morning, realizing I want to side back was as much as a curse as it is a blessing. It's waking up in a nightmare of my own making. Be more specific, Dr. Abrams says once we're both seated. How did you mess up? I pulled a fluffy pillow from behind me and placed it on my lap. My ex, I think I still love him. Oh, that. Her lips curved into an indulgent smile. Based on our few conversations, I suspected as much. But you needed to come to it for yourself. My breath chopped up in my throat and I can't get enough air. I grip the chair's armrest and fight off a wave of panic. Not a wave, a tsunami. It crashes over my head, submerging me in every possibility that I've screwed this beyond unscrewing. Calm down, Yasmin, Dr. Abrams says. Breathe in long, breathe out slow. This shouldn't work. The mere act of drawing in air into my lungs should not calm me down, should not make me feel better. And yet, it usually does. The stream of cold air swelling inside reaches my brain and oxygenating the air-starved pockets. Never fails to help. I go through that a few times until my heartbeat stops stammering and the dots clear from my vision. Should be going through it. I've ruined everything. I shake my head, tears slipping from the corners of my eyes. My daughter hates me. My ex-husband is done with me. What was I thinking? How could I? My voice breaks on a sob. I bury my face in my hands. Shame and guilt and frustration seizes me by the throat, squeezing until my breath shortens again and my head swims. It's been so long since I had a panic attack, but I'm on the verge of one now. Let's say you did ruin everything. The alarming words crooned in such a soothing tone coaxed my eyes open. Dr. Abram kind stare holds me in place when I would dart back behind the protective shield of my eyelids. This happens, Yasmin. Depression is an altered state of the mind, not just feeling sad, but the chemistry of your brain, your hormones, your body is a participant held hostage to depression just as much as your mind. We discussed all of this before. I started the antidepressant, revisited it, as we fiddle with dosages to find the right mix for my body, my brain chemistry. Depression, she goes on, is a liar. Ooh. If it tell you no one loves you, that you're not good enough, that you're a burden, in the most extreme cases, better off dead, then it can certainly convince you that you're better off without the man you love, and that ultimately he's better off without you. I know depression deceives, but how this illness warped the truth, how it manipulated my emotions and turned my fears on me, takes my breath away for a moment. The magnitude of what I lost, what I surrendered, lands on me with the weight of a heat of a meteor. While believing the lies depression tells us, she continues, sometimes we make decisions and do things we wouldn't otherwise. Part of the process of healing from depressive episodes can be dealing with the fallout of the things we did and decided in our altered state of mind. I know that's right. Fallout, is that what you call something as irreversible as divorce? Oh, divorce isn't irreversible. It's not It's not the worst regret you could have as a result of your decisions you made when depressed or grieving. Dr. Abrams says there's a documentary about the Golden Gate Bridge. A documentarian left the camera on the bridge around clock for a year, filmed 24 jumps. Oh my God. I clasped my hands tight in my lap and hold her stare. She knows the truth of how I grappled with my darkest thoughts. Though I never tried to end my life, the thought became something untried, pre-tragic version of myself, never imagining it could be tempting. They talked to a survivor, and you know what he said? She pauses, waiting for me to shake my head, breath baited. As soon as he jumped, he changed his mind. I blink at her owlishly, the weight of that sinking through my bones and the flesh of digging into my heart. That, she says, is an irreversible outcome. Divorce may or may not be. Broken relationships may or may not be. You may never repair those completely, but you're still here to try. Do you recognize what an amazing gift that is? To still be here to try? I blink back hot tears and nod. You're right. I'm grateful to still be here, I say. I look back and read my journals from when I first started therapy, and now I can see how warped my thinking was. I swallowed the lies depressions fed me. They became so much a part of me until they felt like the truth. I don't know that person. It feels like someone else was in charge of my life, like someone else made those decisions, and now I'm back and have to live with the consequences. You have to make some peace with that woman, Yasmin, because she is you. She's not someone who you banish with therapy and need and meds. She is you. You cannot disassociate from her. Until you reconcile that, you won't find true peace. Until you have compassion for her instead of judgment, you cannot fully heal. She grabs a pen and pad from the side table, lifts her head, stares me down. So let's set a date. A date for what? We need to put it on the calendar the day you're going to forgive yourself and get about the business of living your life. Pretty sure it doesn't work like that. It can work like that. You can't change what already happened, what you did or decided. You have two choices: wallow in it, stay in the chokehold of guilt and shame that holds you back from the next phase of your life. She taps the pad with the pen, or decide you've punished yourself long enough for the things that you can never change until the date when you forgive yourself and move forward. How can it be that simple? My chest tightens and my breath shortens and my head starts spinning again. I understand. It's a cycle. It will come back around, this crippling guilt, this enormous shame, as long as I let it. But nothing will ever change. The futility of it angers me because while I'm sitting here unable to breathe, punishing myself every day, my life is waiting for me. I must embrace the necessity of finding joy in the borders of my own soul, sketching the parameters of the contentment along the lines of my heart and myself. Not because everything is perfect with my kids, things will never be perfect. I have to let go of perfect. Not because I'm guaranteed a happily ever after. Maybe one day I can get Josiah back. Maybe against all odds, he'll give me another chance. Or he may never love me again. Even if he doesn't, I can't live like this. There is a corner of my heart, a room in my soul, where I must choose joy just for me. And just because I want to be free of this, I must heal to the best, most complete version of myself for my children, for my mother, for my friends, most of all, for me. So when will I forgive myself and be about the business of making the life I deserve, even when I don't feel like I do deserve that life? I lift my head, swipe at the tears lingering on my cheeks, and nod to the pen poised over Dr. Abrams' pad. Today, I say write down today. All right, family. That's pretty good. We're going to pick up on chapter 33 next. You know, y'all get to hang with me a little bit. We're about to cut TikTok off. Boop, boop, boop. Let's go see what they talking about. Oh, come on now. Oh, yeah, family, I forgot to tell you. So I still got the mic, and if TikTok's still on there, we will be, we might miss next Thursday because I might be driving. I might be on the road coming back through Charlotte or something. So we might pick up on. Dang. Yeah, I don't leave Panama City till Friday, so we might miss book club next Thursday. But we'll be back the Thursday after that. So you can probably catch me Tuesday because I think I'll do something Tuesday. So don't get about Tuesday live energy readings and more. We don't just have book club, we got that too. So that's it for TikTok. Rest of y'all, family, let's go. Let's go play in the other room. I'm playing with that thing all the time. I promise you I do. I'm a Jones. I love that band. I like the big one too. Everybody generally play with it now that they come over here. And I couldn't play it with my hands at first. Because, you know, it's supposed to be a drum that you can also play with your hands. But, yeah, that ain't work so brand. Oh, yeah, it already disconnected me. So that's why I don't like TikTok. But that mess it be talking about, it disconnects you because we seen that there was no movement, no activity. So, but, you know. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, I got a rose. Thanks. One diamonds. Oh, no, show again. Okay. Yeah, they just give me an hour on TikTok and they be like, never mind, you off. So we say you ain't doing nothing, but all right. Family, I appreciate you. Remember, I don't know, Tuesday gonna be a little bit different than how we normally do it. So yeah, I might take y'all to dinner with me. We're gonna go somewhere and eat. We're gonna be in Charleston, you dig? So we're gonna find some food and whatnot. Um, I appreciate your support as always. I thank you for your time. And my bad. Hey, listen, you over here hating on my shirts and everything. Oh God. So I'm looking at the TikTok comments. They was talking bad about my shirt. And it ain't even no workout shirt. This is man, listen. This is a historic neighborhood in Charlotte, Lakeview community. And some people know it as Lakewood, but it ain't Lakewood no more. It never really should have been Lakewood, but they fought to get the name back to Lakeview. So it's Lakeview, and I worked over there for a while, and I support Lakeview community. You dig? And I think they even got our old building. So, but anyway, family, I'll catch y'all next week. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Enjoy some food. Do all that great stuff.